happy to see you again. Welcome to my channel, No Social Science. We are learning about sources of medieval India in part 1 video. We learned about primary sources. It includes inscription, monuments and coins. If you have not seen my video, link is given in the description. Kindly refer. Now we are going to continue with the monuments. Temples, palaces, mosques, tombs, forts, minaras and minarets are called by the collective noun monuments. The inscriptions in these monuments contain lot of rich information about the medieval India. Dear students, many dynasties ruled India. They introduced different types of art and architecture. Hindu ruler introduced Hindu architecture. The main feature of this is pillars, viharas, gopurams and mandapam. When the Greek came to India, they introduced new type of architecture called Indo-Greek architecture. By name itself, we can see Indian architecture and Greek architecture joined together. They call Indo-Greek architecture. The specialty of this is the folding of the cloth, the curly hair are clearly depicted. When sultans and Mughals came to India, they introduced domes, arches, minaras and minarets. Some of the example we have here: temples in Kornak and Dilwara, temples in Tanjavur, Gangaikonda Cholapuram and Dharaswaram are the magnificent structure constructed in the later Chola period in Tamil Nadu. Moti Masjid, Jama Masjid, Fatehpur Sikri and Charminar in Hyderabad are important mosques belong to the medieval period. It's shown in the picture. You can see the children. Now we'll move to the fort. Forts also very equally important. It gives information about the medieval India. The forts are Agra Fort, Chittoor Fort, Gwalior Fort and Delhi Red Fort, where our Prime Minister used to hoist the national flag on August 15th and January 26th. We have some cities which is constructed in middle period. There is Fatehpur Sikri, Ferozabad, Tughlaqabad and Hampi. Ferozabad and Tughlaqabad in North India, they are ruined, but in South India, Hampi is remained. It gives a lot of information about the medieval India. Next, we go to the coins. The pictures also gives a valuable information. The pictures and the legends on the coins convey the names of the kings with their titles, portraits, events, places, dates, dynasties and logos. The composition of the metal in the coins given us information on the economic condition of the empire. Muhammad Ghori introduced the goddess Lakshmi golden coins. It gives information about the early Turkish invention. We have the copper jitals also for the study of the Delhi Sultanates. 40 jitals are equal to 1 silver tanka. Here in the picture it is shown. Some of the coins also shown in the picture. Next, we'll move on to the secondary sources: religious literature, secular literature, books, biographies, autobiographies, travels and travel logs. Literature, religious literature, devotional movement in South India and later in North resulted in the development of Bhakti and devotional literature. Kamba Ramayanam, Sekila Periyapuranam, Nalayara Divya Prabandham composed by 12 Arvas and compiled by Nada Muni, Devaram composed by Appar, and in the 15th century, Maithis poet also had an influence on the Bhakti movement in India. Next, we'll move to the secular literature. Madhura Vijayam, Amurtha Mallata were the poem composed by Ganga Devi and Krishna Devaraya, which gives the detailed information about the Vijayanagara Empire. There is no Indian account for the Turkish invention. Next, books, biographies and autobiographies. Biography, an account of someone's life written by the someone else. Autobiography, an account of person's life written by that person. These sources provide information about political, social, economic condition of the medieval India. We have some examples here. In the 13th century, Hassan Nizami, a migrant from Ghazni, wrote Tazul Masar towards the end of the Islamic rule. A courtier of Muhammad Tughlaq wrote Tarikhul Feroz Shahi, in which he dealt with the history of Delhi Sultanate from Ghayasuddin Balban to the early years to the region of Feroz Shah Tughlaq. Farishta Tarikh Farishta deals with the history of the rises of Mughal power in India. Babar Nama and Faiz Aini Akbari gives the information about the Babar. Tuzuki Jahangiri gives the information about the Jahangir's life. Next, we'll move on to the travelers and travel logs. Travel log, it is a book written by a person who traveled to different parts of the world. In this book, he will mention about his visit and his experience. This observation also help us to construct Indian history. We'll have some of the travelers here. Marco Polo, Ibn Battuta, Domino Pace, Abdul Razak, Niccolo Conti, Al-Bruni. We'll see the travelers and their observations. Marco Polo, he was an Italian traveler. He wrote in his book, The Travel of Marco Polo. He visited during the Pandya Kingdom and he wrote about thousands of horses were imported into southern India by sea from Arabia and Persia. Next, Al-Barni, he wrote about people, conditions, system of knowledge and social norms in his book Tahqiqul Hind, and he stayed here for 10 years during the Muhammad Ghazni period. Next is the Ibn Battuta. He was an Arabian traveler and he wrote in his book The Travels about the caste system and the practice of sati. He came to India during the Muhammad bin Tughlaq period. Apart from that, other travelers also there. That is, Niccolo Conti came to India in 1420. Abdul Razak 1443. Domino Pais, the Portuguese traveler, visited in 1522. All the informations are very helpful to construct the history of the medieval period. Dear students, go through the lesson twice or thrice and answer the question given at the back of the lesson. With this, this lesson is completed. I will meet you again in the next video with the new lessons. Thank you. If you have any query, please comment below.